I want to remind you guys, you're truly invited. If you want to come up to see the reveal of the billboard, y'all, Tracy Allen, Living in My Truth. I'm so excited for it. I think it's such a blessing, you know, and it's going to help get this thing out to more and more and more people, you know. That'll be Philadelphia at the Live Casino parking lot. That's where the billboard itself stand, where, you know, we can get that first view of everything, you know, and I'm excited. You know what I mean? I'm just really excited about it. You know, God is good. You know, like I said, you know, He gave me this road to walk, and I'm going to run it. You know, walk, run, skip, hop. I'm going to do the best that I can to do what we all set out to do to help each other and to help the still suffering addicts and alcoholics today, and anybody that deals with any type of addiction. Hey, Key, Nelly, thank you. Appreciate the congrats. You know, hey, Bev, you know, I love y'all. I love every last one of y'all that comes on here and shares with me. So we'll be up there. We all want to meet up there around 11 o'clock, you know, because there may be some, you know, festivities going on up there and all. Maybe a couple games. I'm not sure, you know. So if you can make it up, by all means, please do. You know, I really will appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to bring more to you about the website, and I'll bring more to you about, you know, when you can purchase the t-shirts, the mugs, the cups, you know, and everything. That's just to support this so I can just make it get bigger and bigger and bigger and grow more and more and more, because I'm telling y'all, I knew this thing would run. I knew it would go, because I'm an addict, and I know we are all, a lot of us need this, but I didn't expect for it to go as it's going now. You know what I mean? So I got to keep up with the keep up. You know what I'm saying? And God, you know, I give Him all the glory in the world. Believe that. You know, you can also ride by, because it'll be posted. You know, it's one of the type of billboards. What is it, electronic? Is that what it's called?
Electronic.
The electronic one. So it'll be on, you know, if you ride up and down the highway, I-95, that's where you can actually really see it, to focus on it. You know what I mean? So if you do ride past for any chance, coming home from work, going to work, whatever, going shopping, whatever, you know, make sure you share it. You know, share it. You know, and I would appreciate that. Real quick, I want to, I got some no, I got some, I couldn't read everybody's post that was posting to me, you know, yesterday. So I decided to take just a little second to just thank some people and, you know, and put it up front. Gilda, I appreciate you. You know, when I shared my story and I needed that, I need to hear from y'all too. You know what I mean? As you all supported me so gratefully and awesomely. Thank you so very much. Gilda has said to me, the enemy will come like a thief in the night, but to God be the glory. You know, and I really appreciate that, because I go over these lives 100 times after they come on, so I can get it all down packed, you know, and try to get something from everybody. What's up, Di Sutton? And Frida Burton, you know, you was like, we know we are a lot to deal with, but don't give up on them. Don't let your loved ones go. So true. So true. You're listening, honey. We cannot let them go. We are human. You know what I mean? We're just lost in our bodies. We lost in our souls. You know what I mean? We have no control of our emotions and our mind. You know what I'm saying? Until we learn how surrender, learn how disease work, and then we'll come back to you. You know, and powerfully, if we really want to. You know, so I appreciate you saying that. And Trina, you said so much. You know, and it is true. Addiction affects every family that has someone in it who's dealing with drug and alcohol addiction or any other addiction that can cause harm. So yes, you know, and I appreciate y'all leaving some of these this good feedback to me. You know what I mean? I just want y'all to know that I am reading and I am watching them and looking at them.
The echo in the device. Is one of these too close?
Maybe one is too close. You hearing the echo?
Yeah, she just said they're hearing the echo.
Are you hearing it now? I tell you, I thought I had the technical.
Sometimes if they're too close to each other.
What am I doing? Can you hear it now? You hear the echo? Anybody? Show me hearts. Hey, Hassan. How you doing?
Elliot saying no.
Okay,
Now
so now y'all can hear. Maybe it was the two devices.
I think it was
too
just too
close.
close.
Look, I'm acting like I'm a techie. It probably was the two devices too close. Oh boy. Okay, y'all.
If you want it on the phone, so I can put the phone over there.
I'm good. I can see it from here. Yeah, this is just for me to see and be able to read closer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? That's all I do this for. Yeah. But we finally got the echo out. I hope that we did. And thank y'all for sending me that message. And who's that? Sharita? Sharita.
Yeah.
Let me put my glasses on because I know somebody gonna say that. You know what I mean? And that's okay. Well, y'all, I'm gonna introduce my guest right now, and we'll come back to some of these announcements over again because for the ones. No, I want to have a commercial break. How about that? Now we got people coming on here telling me what to do. Y'all know I like that. It's real. You know it's live. It's live and it's real. Y'all know what I'm saying? Hey, Rashad, thank you so much, y'all. And I want y'all to know that Rashad is the one who brought all the billboard to me, you know, at this point and gifted it. You know, and I want y'all to give Rashad some hearts too because I appreciate it. I love it when you support, you know, and that's what it's all dealing with too, supporting one another. You know what I mean? And cousin, I love you. Thank you for everything that you did, little nephew. I really appreciate it. You know.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Rock.
She said, hey, y'all.
Hey, Nikki. Hey, Roxy. All right, y'all. I'm gonna introduce my guest tonight. This is Danielle Jennings. Danielle is coming on with a lot of information and education for you guys. I hope that you get a lot out of this. I know this type of topic sometimes can get touchy, but that's what it's supposed to because when you get in touch with your emotions, that means you're working on shit. That means that, you know, you feeling shit. And in this live, at times you're going to feel emotions that you haven't even felt yet. You know what I mean? Because again, the truth will set you free. You know what I mean? Surrendering will help. You know, surrendering is the key. You follow? And when you do that, you're going to have to do it with honesty. You know, because it starts with honesty. Okay? So, I mean, we have to dig deep, you know, to get down to the nitty gritty of like, what could possibly be that made me, you know what I mean, not, you know, go into this type of feeling that I have that I ran towards something called society, you know what I mean, and got out there and wanted to be somebody, you know what I mean, because I couldn't get seen that way inside the home, you know what I mean, or felt that way inside the home. We all have a story, we all have a story to tell, and sometimes, all the time in recovery, we have to dig deep to the things that hurt us.
Yeah, you got to get to that source.
You got to get to the source.
You got to get to that source.
You got to get to the source, and that's how we do it in recovery. And with the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous helps us, you know, as recovering addicts who do come to believe in it, you know what I mean, it helps us do just that. You know, and then sharing, you know, and finding sponsors and finding somebody that you can have the big word trust in.
Trust.
You know what I mean? That's the big word, trust in. You know what I'm saying? Because believe me, y'all think y'all don't trust us. We don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? We can't even trust ourselves. You know, so this thing goes around in a twirl. It just goes around in a twirl, and that's the storm. That's the storm I talk about in the tunnel. You know what I mean? But what we're doing now here on live is going to help us to get to the other side, you know, so we can come out this storm and we can start living a normal lifestyle, you know, loving ourselves, you know, and have enough love to love our peoples and become mothers again and fathers again and grandmothers and sisters and brothers and all that kind of stuff, you know, because it's a whole nother type of love, y'all. It's a whole nother type of love, and it's beautiful. I promise you, it's beautiful when you come out that tunnel and you got to see the rainbow. Believe me when I tell you that. All right, so I'm going to give this to Danielle and let Danielle get off, you know, and let's start this topic.
Okay. You want me to start with...
I want you to do and start with everybody do that. Everybody do that. Because this is unscripted. We don't script on here. We just come on and do what we do.
The last time me and my aunt was talking, we were talking about my PTSD. And for post-traumatic stress disorder and my MDD, major depressive disorder. we were talking about how trauma and generational trauma plays a big part in a lot of what we go through. And like when we mentioned earlier about getting to the source, a lot of the times like for me, I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy since 2017. Kind of had like a breakdown with something that was going on at work, and I stuck it out. It was hard having to face a lot of stuff because I'm thinking, like most people do when you go to therapy, you're like, oh, I'm going to talk about the stuff that bothers me, and the therapist is going to make everything right. They're going to tell me everything I have to do, and, it's all going to be good. Until you get to therapy and the therapist says, okay, tell me about you. And then you go, oh, yeah, because I'm this and I'm that. And they're like, Next thing you know, you're 6 weeks in and they're like, okay, so here's what I heard over the last 6 weeks. And you're like, wait, I never said anything like that. And you start getting in touch with a lot of the emotions and the feelings that, for me personally, I didn't even realize I did not know emotions. People used to tell me I'm heartless, I don't feel anything, I'm just hard. And the whole thing was, I was surprised to find out that I did have emotions. They were just negative emotions.
Now damn.
And like mischief was and is my favorite emotion. Because if somebody's fucking with me, I am going to get you back, and I'm going to make sure you know I got you back. But it's not going to be something like slash your tires. It's going to be slowly fucking with you so that you're going to be upset, but you're not going to understand why you're upset. And then I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be laughing.
So it's kind of like being passive aggressive?
It's kind of I call it aggressive, passive aggressive.
Okay.
Because it's done on purpose for me.
You mean to do it?
I mean to do it. Yeah. Like
so
I'm doing this.
That's your fight back.
Yeah. So it's like you might have gotten to me. You'll never know you got to me. But I'm going to get to you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to turn my phone off.
Ain't my phone, y'all. I'm doing it.
Let me put my phone on silent. But yeah, my thing is, I'm doing this on purpose because I want you, and I want to see the progress of me pushing you to that edge. So that was my favorite.
So because you got hurt, you want to hurt back.
Yes.
Pretty much like hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. And my thing was always, I got joy out of it. And I didn't even realize it was joy, because it was just like, now I got you where you thought you had me, and you really trying to figure this out. But I'm good. I'm good now. So like I said, my wheelhouse is mischief, anger, and Hedonia was when I found out. That's that whatever.
What is it?
Anhedonia.
Anhedonia.
I don't know how to spell it, but you can sound it out and look it up. But it basically is it's kind of a absence of the emotion, like caring really doesn't matter. And I'm really not doing it any justice, because I have a thing where I can ignore somebody. If I don't like you, and we're in a place and there's other people around, I literally will ignore you to the point where I have forgotten you were even there. And somebody could be talking to me and telling me, oh, well, so-and-so, wait, when were they there? That's kind of like that anhedonia. Like, it's just like...
That's called anhedonia?
That's the way it expresses for me. It's like, I don't care to the point where I literally just don't.
Don't care.
It's nothing there. Like, there's nothing, like, you're not even there.
And emotion shut down.
So not even, me and my therapist laugh about it, because not only is it a shutdown, but for me it's a shutout. Like, you're sitting directly in front of me.
And you had that person.
I don't even see you. It's like, here you are sitting in a chair. I see everything about that chair but you. And it's not even something that I have to consciously do. Like, if I don't like you to the point where I'm not even willing to be civil to you, I literally can make you disappear. Like, it's like, I don't see you anymore.
So this has to be treated?
Yes.
It has to be treated?
Because it all goes into
emotions?
The emotions, and knowing how to, like, this is the way I tell people. I'm learning emotions.
Okay.
Like,
you're learning to get in touch with
I'm learning to get in.
With the
no,
good ones.
I'm learning emotions. Like I'm
Emotions,
learning
period.
because I didn't like. It's a lot of emotions that I did not know were emotions.
Wow.
And like I couldn't describe a lot of like
what you was feeling.
If I told you, you know, that pillow over there is just so cute and it's nice, and when I see it, you know what? It kind of lifts my spirit.
Right.
And for my therapist, she'll tell me like what that emotion is, but for me, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can, but I really can't tell you what that feeling is.
Oh, you don't know what it feels like.
Right.
Okay.
Like I didn't know joy until I was 50 years old. I'm 51.
Wow.
I had no idea what joy was. And I was describing something to my therapist, and she was like, "Do you know what you're describing?" "No, joy." I'm like, "Really? Is that what joy feel like?"
Wow.
And she asked me my goal when we started, and I'm like, peace. I want
peace.
I want peace. I just want that kind of peace where I can go through the day and I'm good.
You okay?
Like, it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I can adjust to it. I can deal with it. I just want to feel peace. I don't know what peace feels like. And that was in 2017.
And because you don't know what peace feels like, what did that come from? Like, what did all this stem from?
All of that came from my traumas that I had dealt with, that I went through, rather, growing up.
As a kid?
As a kid. The traumas that I went through with different family members as I got older, you know, from a kid to a teenager to an adult. The trauma of, which I didn't realize was a trauma until I was talking to my therapist, was I had my first child at 14.
Right.
That was a traumatic experience.
That
Not just mental, but physically. And it was,
a lot of us experienced that. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it was like, no, I just had a baby. Like, that wasn't, but it added to the trauma that I was already going through.
Right.
And for me to survive, I kind of got into myself, and for me it was, I don't care. Like, what you say, what you do. And some people on here know me from when, Nicole said her go-to is anger. See, like, it's,
and
some
everybody know Nicole, who she's talking about, is her daughter.
My daughter, it's my oldest daughter. So, a lot of people who know me on here from when I was younger and, you know, growing up can attest to how angry I was.
Victoria says, so did you know the meaning of love?
I knew the meaning of love as far as being a mother. I knew love. I knew what love was as far as having an intimate partner. But I didn't know how to.
Oh wow, that's
I didn't know how to love
that's a
them.
good one.
I knew, okay, I love you, and I know what I thought love looked
What you
like.
thought love was.
What I thought it looked like, but
I know what that feeling is.
My traumas and my negative self it always interfered, because with my trauma, I've been hurt a lot. And we're talking from very little child into adulthood. And my thing has always been to protect myself.
Michelle said this to you. She said, I get it. My feelings were evident, but for me to be descriptive was difficult. I was devastatingly numbed because being overwhelmed so much that I wouldn't be expressive. But that's all changed. He didn't say see more. So.
Yeah, you gotta hit the C. Say see more, hit
now through healing.
Yeah, and that's actually the best way to describe what I was saying about me trying to describe my emotions. Because it's hard to describe them. And since I'm really just learning them, like, you know, little kids, you learn these things early on. And if you have a healthy or healthy-ish kind of upbringing and, you know, a lot of positivity around you in some form, you kind of learn how to embrace it and nurture it, and, you know, you can move through with what I call normal, because you're able to see.
You're normal.
No, I'm talking about the outside normal people.
Okay.
What I call normal people. Because for me, my thing has always been, I'm going to protect me.
Right.
I'm going to protect myself. You're not going to get to me, and if you do, you'll never see it. If I'm doing something to you, it's because you didn't know or you don't know you got to me, but you got to me.
Right.
And my negative emotions were the ones that, like I said, I didn't even know they were emotions,
Right.
but those were the ones that I used. So it's, Danny's tough, Danny's hard, Danny just, she get up and she goes, she knows she got to do something, she just do it, and that's it. Forget anybody else. Don't even worry about that. And for me, that's been my way of life my whole life.
Your whole life.
And it wasn't until, I'm going to say 2019, that I started getting into the therapy of, okay, let's work on
Me.
emotions.
Right. So.
Because we were working on me.
Right.
It's just, I wasn't ready for the whole emotional.
Right.
Because in my mind, emotional meant I'm going to be crying all the
It's
time.
painful.
I'm going to
Get
be, I don't
mad.
know what's going on. Like, it's just going to be like, okay, I'm going to cry one day and the tears will never stop. And I'm going to be 3 years later and it's going to be like, oh, y'all give me an IV because I'm still crying and I'm drained of all the liquids. And I've learned that, no, that's not how emotions work.
Right.
Like, they come, like, I still get depressed even though I'm taking my medicine. Like I had this saying I told you about. I tell people I'm not crazy because I take my medication.
Right.
Because I'm on medication. I found that I do need medication. And in 2019 is when I finally accepted that therapy wasn't enough.
I said you were awesome.
Thank
Sit
you.
here and talk about this.
And I just thought that I realized, you know what, therapy isn't enough. I need more. And I used to have this thing like, no, medicine is this, and like a lot of people, no medicines that mess you up. They mess with your head.
With some of my
they'll
medicines,
do this,
yeah.
they'll do that, and it's like, okay, maybe it will for somebody, but let's see what happens with you.
Right.
So I did go through a bunch of different medicines, and the good thing was my psychiatrist who prescribes the medicine, I had to see them. And it was, okay, describe this. Tell me how you feel. Tell me if you're having this. Tell me if you're having that. I was on one medicine where I had no sexual drive whatsoever. I mean, when I say flat, like I had nothing, but what I noticed was no sexual drive. And I'm like, okay, we need to get me off of this now. Because the one thing that I do like to feel, I don't even want that no more.
You said that from the beginning, though. You said that's what you call love. That was part of what you knew love was.
No, I knew what I thought love looked like. Now, as far as sex was concerned, that was something totally different. That was separate from everything. Because being as though I had been treated so poorly growing up, when somebody was nice to me it was like, this person really likes me. They're being, it's special. Then this person must be nice, like a good person.
Right, that's a person that's loving you or something.
It was...
You getting emotions from that?
No, it wasn't that I was getting emotions. It was, I don't have to be on guard right now because you're being nice.
Because you're being nice. Oh, well, I got
So what ended up happening was, it was mainly men. And, it was like, okay, well, they're being nice to me, so they must like me. So, of course, they want some, they got some.
They got it.
And it's like, like I don't even remember half of the experiences that I've had with people. It's like, I know I had sex with you, but...
Well, that's the same like in my lifestyle. Like back when I got high, shit, I don't remember some of them.
Yeah, it's like...
You know what I'm saying?
But
But
I had sex with you.
I know.
Like, but did I like it? Like, what was that like for me? But it was... And it's funny because...
Victoria is asking, she's, I'm trying to catch some of the
2017
statements.
to present did...
Oh, shit.
Or is therapy help? Yes. I thank my therapist after every session. I see her every week. And I thank her for like the last 5 minutes of the session because I always learn something in the session. And I always learn something about myself in my sessions. Even when I may just be venting. I may be having a session where I'm just venting. And then when she like, okay, let's spin this back for a second. Here's what you said. Here's what your body was doing. This is how I know, you said this, but you didn't mean it because your body language showed me something different.
Something different, yeah. This is,
Hey, Sharita.
Hey, Sharita. Sharita had a statement for you, too. She said, thank you very much for being transparent and talking about this here because be really embarrassed to talk about here what is their feelings and emotions and therapy and medication. That's absolutely right. You know what I mean? This is what this live is all about.
It's
you know,
true.
we grown-ups, we sitting up having conversation. You know, that we know that things that we go through can help another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even help another person recognize if they're going through this. You know what I mean? The same way I put out, you know, about addiction. You know, addiction and drugs and alcohol. It all relates so much. You know what I mean?
To our inner self.
To our inner selves.
Mm-hmm.
It all relates so much. You know, and sometimes we be stuck with a lot and we can't get it out. You know what I mean? So we'll just continue to suppress it. You know, and wear masks. You know, to have like an embarrassment in front of us, and some of us just don't know that this is happening.
No.
Did you recognize that this was actually happening as this went on?
I didn't. I knew because I had been in therapy over the years, but I couldn't ever find a therapist that like fit with me.
Yeah, that's trust.
So
right? Trust. For me, it's like trust.
It wasn't so much trust. I didn't see them long enough to trust them.
Right.
It was their personality with my personality.
Judging.
It did not work.
Yeah.
And it felt judgmental.
It felt judgmental. That's why I said
judgmental.
trust. Yeah, because with my counselors, I was like,
like, here you go talking again.
who the hell is this? You know what I mean? What the hell is she doing for me? You know what I mean? And I got a whole lot inside me. You know what I mean? I got a whole lot inside me from the little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the little girl. But at the end of the day, because I didn't like get the filler.
Right. You have to protect her. She had to stay down.
Right.
Yeah, she had to stay down.
Right. So I feel you on that. I feel that.
Because what I did this time was I was specific because having that breakdown with the harassment and things I was going through at work, and it's naturally spilling over into your personal life. And me saying that's it. I need to see somebody
because you're definitely a different person.
You know what? And I agree. I tell people all the time, I am not the same Danielle I was before 2017.
And that's a plus.
I know the thing that makes me happy is
loving yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the thing that makes me happy is like, wait, because I even told my therapist like, I'm different. Like when I was starting to go through another issue at work with harassment and you know, everything that was going on, which is why I retired early because mentally I just couldn't take it anymore. And when I was talking to my therapist in that particular session, she made the statement that she's like, this is like talking to the Danielle I first met. Mm-hmm. And my statement, without even thinking about it, was because I am that Danielle that you first met. I don't like that.
Right.
And she just stopped the session. Was like, stop. Let's reflect on what you just said. And I didn't even really realize. Like I heard me say it, but I didn't realize what I had said.
So back out of touch with emotion.
No,
was it kind of like that?
It was
for a second. For a moment.
I was on my way back.
Right.
I was on my way back into mischief and anger and you know the frustration and I need to get back at you and it was just like, hold up, you've accomplished so much. Are you really going to let these idiots who I guess it makes them feel like somebody to harass people or use their position to, you know, threaten you or, you know, make you feel like, you know, it's all on the line now. And I'm like, you know what? It's just not worth it. I'm like,
that was a decision making day.
That it was a decision and it was an epiphany.
Oh.
And it was like, it's not worth it. And when I thought about it, I'm like, I've been on this job long enough. I can retire. Mm-hmm. And when I called the retirement specialist, I had them work it up for me for retiring disabled and the regular retirement. Mm-hmm. Retiring disabled got me 30 days to get out of there. Mm-hmm. Retiring the regular way, I would have had to been there until after my birthday. Mm. And it was, yeah, I got mental issues. I am considered technically disabled.
Go ahead, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, really, already? When can we start? Mm-hmm. I haven't been to work since August 28th. I went on leave. And when I talked to him on September 5th, it became official leave for my retirement determination. Mm-hmm. And like after after not going to work from the 28th on, by the time I found out my disability retirement was approved, I had already gotten myself into the fact that I don't have to get up to go into that place anymore.
I'm going to read this what Victoria said. Victoria was asking you, where did you place God through all of this?
Okay, I'm Muslim, like a lot of people know. Mm-hmm. And my religion and my God is very important to me. And the thing that has kept me going since I took Shahada, which is what Muslims do when they come into the faith, was remembering that Allah has me, that Allah got me. But I did have that, I also had that thing where, as humans, we have where I still thought I had to control what was going on around me. Mm-hmm. And most people, like I can tell you, control freak, yes. Total control freak, yes.
She is. Definitely.
Because I need to, I tell people, I'm that person that you go to in an emergency, because while everybody else is being emotional, I'm boom, time to take care of business. We need to do this, that, and that. And I have to do that because there's a need in me to have to take care of people, because I've always been that person to fight for the underdog, or the person that I think is, oh, you know what, they're not being treated fairly, and that comes from the way I was treated growing up. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like other people being treated bad. I don't like you bullying people. I don't want you making people hurt for no reason. Like, if you want to fight, hurt somebody. I don't even have to know you. Mm-hmm. Hurt somebody around me while I'm there. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to fight. Mm-hmm. Most people know, especially when it comes to my children, I have threatened principals. I have gone to, when Nicole was in school, she was being bullied by some students, and come to find out it was her third grade teacher that was starting them off with bullying her. I can't think of the word. Somebody will think of the word for me. And I went to the school. I went to the classroom. Mm-hmm. I threatened the teacher to the point where the teacher's aide in the classroom came out. I didn't even notice she had came out, and went and told the principal. I got called over to the principal's office, and he had the police sitting outside waiting.
Wow.
You don't mess with my children. She was in third grade.
Wow.
You're an adult.
You know what I find? I find that when, like for me, in my nonsense, you know, in my mental health, in my dealing in depressions that I was dealing with, you know what I mean? I can relate to you on it, because I didn't feel like I was depressed.
No, you never do.
Like, now that you're saying this, is what I'm saying. I never felt like I was depressed, but when I got therapy, I found out that I was. You know what I mean? And they had to make me understand, like, how. You know what I mean? How? Because tell me where I was depressed, because in my world, we call wearing masks. Mm-hmm. You know, as us as addicts, we call it wearing masks. And a lot of us wear masks, been wearing masks for a very long time. We are masked and don't even know what the masks are yet, you know, or can remember what mask you were wearing.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying? And we words are vicious. I always say words are vicious, and this is the reason why, because everybody don't comprehend things
the way you
intend on doing it. You know what I mean? That don't make somebody smarter than you. That it might make somebody feel like they're smarter than you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You never know what's going on inside a person. You know what I mean? You could say some things to me. You know, back then I just spaz out. I didn't care. I'd cuss you back out, whatever the hell had to go on. That's me. But on the inside, when I think about some things that be said to me, I kind of cover myself for the other person. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I dealt with that shit for a lot. I did that shit a whole lot. I don't know if y'all, look, I see the heart, so I know y'all feel what I'm saying. Yeah. Just because I didn't want to hurt the other person, even though I was hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in my world, in addiction and recovery, you know what I mean? I had to learn that I had to stop doing that. And my psychologist told me this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I said, well, I still wasn't depressed. I was more angry than depressed, and I was mad because I didn't say what I really wanted to say. Mm-hmm. Because I'm looking out for that other person. Yeah. You know what I mean? That that shit, I did that for years. I really did. I did that shit for
Which
real.
isn't healthy.
But I don't
yourself.
do it today after getting therapy. And this is what this is all about, getting help for things that you don't even know that's really going on for yourself. You follow what I'm saying? And I can say that I was depressed behind it. My anger was more of my depression.
Yeah.
Because I just held shit in. When I should have just let it all the hell out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I got mad at me because I didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You feel what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly.
I got mad at me. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I got mad at me because I didn't, because I should have handled situations in a different way. You know what I mean? Because once you allow folks and you allow people, to get in you, and you suppress your pain and you suppress your hurt and you suppress the decision that you really wanted to make, you're only making yourself sick. And making yourself sicker.
And it adds to your depression.
It adds to it. You're right.
It adds to your depression.
It adds to it till if you can't find that this is what's going on with you, you know what I mean? And you've got that feeling, y'all, somebody on here now, and you hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? And you hear what she's saying, dig deep. Dig deep. Take an inventory on yourself. Dig deep. When I learned how to take inventory on myself and see my psychologist, that's when I started seeing the light. You know what I mean? I started seeing the light because I wasn't a good listener at first. You just can't tell me shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially if I think I know it. You know what I mean? And allow us to be our own doctors, because we think we know ourselves. And then when we really start listening so we can hear what they say, you know what I mean? It's like you said with taking the medication. Yeah. You recognize, damn, shit.
Like, I thought I was me.
I was this and I was that, and this was this and this was that. You know what I mean? But then when you open up to the truth,
and a lot of people think depression, because society has us thinking that depression means you're sad.
Exactly.
Yeah. My depression.
That's why I didn't think I was
my
depressed.
depression never had me sad and can't move and can't go out and can't eat. My depression kept me moving, even though it kept my negative emotions going, but it kept me moving. Like, I'm at work, depressed as all get out, and I know something wrong, but I don't feel sad. So no, it can't be depression because I don't feel sad. I don't want to just roll up into a burrito and just lay there and watch TV all day. And my depression also would come through my anxiety, which is what kept me going. And it's just like depression for every single person alive is different for every single.
Hey, Darcel. Just wanted you to know. I told you I was going to remind you, and I did. Kept my word. Okay.
But yeah, it's as different as fingerprints for everybody. Post-traumatic stress, that's different for everybody. It's like your fingerprints. It's different because what bothers some people may not bother me. Like for me, I was just telling somebody that I grew up with a while ago.
Mary said hers was anger and rage.
Girl,
Big
wheelhouse.
Big time.
I remember seeing you on the block because that's where I lived. But it's like, I was telling somebody because he likes jazz. And I'm like, I can only listen to jazz for a minute because after a while, the horns trigger me. They set my PTSD off. Like, my depression starts, I now know when I'm about to have a depressive episode, when I start feeling guilty about stuff from when my kids were little, or when I was little, or when, like, I might think about Aunt Tracy when she was out there, and I start feeling guilty because, oh my God, I saw her that day, and like, you was 7.
She also experienced some of my lifestyle in addiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She saw me at my worst.
Right.
She's one that I can say, that saw me like my own children did.
Yeah.
Because she was around me a lot in her younger life.
Yeah. So it's like with people who like I have a girlfriend, and I use her a lot because we've been best friends since we were kids. That is my bestie. I love her to death. Would do anything for her. She'll do anything for me. We do disagree on a lot of stuff, but I think that's what keeps our relationship going because it keeps us interesting to each other. But she'll say something like, "That shit don't work."
Ain't that something how people say
depending
that?
on what it is.
Thinking they know you.
And it's like, no, I don't even think she means for me. I think she means for anybody or her or whatever. And it's like, that shit don't work.
Well, sometimes
And it's like,
me, I look at it like it can still be, this shit is working in me too, but I'm going to say it don't work. I mean, we get that type of shit.
And that's why I'm like,
that's why I'm jumping in on that.
Where it's coming from for her, I couldn't say because I never asked.
Right.
Because once that attitude comes up, then it's okay. I'm either going to change the topic because I don't want to cuss you out because I have and I will.
Right.
Right. Or it's time to end the conversation because right now I'm triggered. Mm-hmm. Because something else might be going on. So
I want to read this too by Michelle. You can read it. Michelle said, "Oh man, sometimes we are super defensive due to the fact of traumatic situations we endured in our past. And even though we have conquired victories, okay, we will still have embedded it that personal sensitivity.
And that's true. And that's why I'm like, I don't know where it comes from. Like in therapy, I've learned, and I did not know I judged people until I was in therapy. Mm-hmm. And my doctor helped me to not judge people. That was one of my negative emotions.
Not knowing that you judge people.
Yeah, that was one of my negative
emotions.
People
think they judge people.
And I always prided myself on, I'm not judging nobody. I'm not doing this. But my favorite term is, they so stupid. Mm-hmm. Didn't even know I was judging people. And then I got into some of the other things I would say, and I'm like, wait, I'm really judgmental. But now, since I recognize it, it's easier for me to like hear people who are being ignorant to, either what I'm going through or what they're going through themselves, or what somebody around them may be going through. And it's now I can go, okay, and I can approach it from a different angle where it used to be, you so stupid. Why would you think that what you're saying is true, but what they're saying is not when they're the ones going through it? Mm-hmm. But now it's more of, okay, I may come at you like, for you, that might be true. Mm-hmm. And I can't say it's not. I'm not you. I don't know what you're going through.
Well, again, what works for one may not work for the other.
Exactly. And I'm like, but you can't dismiss what somebody else is feeling because all feelings are valid, whether you agree with them or not.
Yeah, I think Francis is on that too. Francis, hey, thanks for being on. Watching.
That's Frank.
Is that Frank?
Yeah, that's Frank.
Oh, that's Frank. Frank said all depression comes in all forms. Some people have to keep moving because they're depressed. Some people have to sit still, like what you were saying, and think about it, how they can overcome their depression. But it don't make you different.
No. And it don't. And there's no shame.
He said it don't make you means that you might need to seek different help.
Right. And like for me, therapy, my one-on-one with my therapist works perfect for me. Some people may need intensive therapy or group therapies and that's fine. Like as long as you recognize that you may need to see somebody for something. It's like going to the doctors. You get a gash in your leg, you're not going to sit there and go, I ain't going to get no stitches, that shit don't work. And nobody's going to sit around you and say, don't get stitches, that shit don't work. They're going to go, get your dumb ass to the hospital. Go get your stitches. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with mental health. What you may have to try a lot of different things to, figure out what your niche is and what works for you. Mm-hmm. For me, it's therapy. It's one-on-one therapy. It's my medication. My psychiatrist thinks I'm crazy because I'm constantly having him laugh. My therapist hates for me to say I'm crazy because she's like, no, you're not crazy. I'm like, no, but this is the best way for me to describe my mental health in one word. And I'm like, and then I'll tell her like, but don't worry about today because I'm not crazy today. I took my medicine. and she's like, don't say that. I'm like, but for real, it's for real. If I take my medicine, I'm under control. I still have my depressive episodes. I still get triggered, but I'm able to recognize them now because I'm not in that
big word. Recognize.
I'm not in that cloud
Mm-hmm.
where before I was on medication, they say I was looking for acceptance in any form. Exactly, Nicole. Exactly.
And Michelle said, I think that ones who are in denial about criticizing think that's not being judgmental.
Oh, you do.
That's big.
And it's very judgmental because
big. That was a good one, Michelle.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very big judgment on somebody because if I'm telling you, my best friend or whoever, because I talk about therapy now like it's Grey's Nets. Anybody talk to me 5 minutes, you want to know I'm in therapy, you want to know I'm on medication, you want to know how well it's been working for me.
Mm-hmm.
But and I do it because I'm excited that it works and I've turned a corner of something I never thought I would get through.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always thought because bad things always happen to me
mm-hmm.
that if something good happens to me, 3 bad things are coming because there's no way I'm meant to have anything good.
Any good things? Wow.
No good feelings.
Mm-hmm.
No. So when I bought my house,
mm-hmm.
Y'all have no idea what I went through with that because I have buyer's remorse really bad,
mm-hmm.
and thankfully I was in therapy. But when I bought the house, like my next 3 months worth of therapy was waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Waiting for a failure?
Waiting for something to come and take this house away.
Bad to come. Wow.
Waiting for the next shoe to drop because something bad was definitely going to happen. Something bad had to happen, and it was me really. I was in my trauma, trying to get out of my trauma,
mm-hmm.
but not getting out of my trauma, and almost not willing to get out of the trauma because
so
that's
what
where
are
I
the
was
tools that
coming
they gave you? Like when you get to that point, what are the tools that they give you to work with?
Well, for me, because my family know education is like everything. I will go to school and learn everything about everything.
Child and got degrees for every damn thing you can possibly think
So
of.
for me, my therapist takes the approach of not only are you going to give me the tool, but she's going to teach me about that tool, about what I'm going through, like whatever the emotion is, or whatever that feeling might be, or why do I think only bad things can happen to me? Why don't I think good things can happen to me? So we go through and we break all that down so that I can learn like why this feeling is there or why I may feel like that. And doing that, we may go through something and it's like, wait, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
My coping skills, like when my depression, like I said, I notice when I'm about to go through a major depressive episode, I feel guilty about something from, you don't even remember it happened because it happened, and I saw an ant cross a leaf one day and I felt bad because a bird picked it up and ate it. Like, it's like something like that. I start feeling guilty. So for me to start, because I know the depression is coming, there's nothing I can do about it, it's going to come. But for me, now I know, okay, now you're feeling guilty, it's time to sit down, it's time to go through what happened at that moment, why you feel guilty about it, and can I do anything about that now? What did I do about it then, and can I do anything about it now? If I would have did something different, would it have changed? And a lot of times, like going back and forth with myself, it's like, okay, like I was going through this one where when my kids were younger and we lived in Maryland, there were times where we had no food in the house. Like I'm trying to figure out like
how you gonna eat?
How am I gonna feed my kids? Because Gramps always taught you that if you have a meat and a vegetable, you got a meal. Sometimes we did not have both, or sometimes we did not have one or the other, and it's like, what am I gonna do? So that would come up on me, and I would have to sit with myself and go, okay, what was going on at that time? Did you have the means? No. Were you trying to get the means? Yes. Why didn't you get the means? Because somebody misunderstood something. Did you correct it? Yes. Now the guilt is going away. So when the depression like sets in, what I do, my therapist calls it urge surfing, because I just go,
Surfing?
Urge surfing.
Okay.
And she said, it's like, oh, for me, I go, oh, it's here to go away, to pass, whatever it
God
is.
said you still made it happen.
Yes, I did.
You still made it happen.
My son, if I would ever need a cheerleader out of my children, all of them love me, all of them cheer me on, but my oldest son is like the biggest cheerleader I have.
You know what? Saying that, like they've been through our roller coaster rides.
They have.
Roller coaster rides.
I traumatized my children.
Yeah,
and I know that.
We traumatize our children. And just getting into the truth of yourself to look at what you did.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like where you played the situation in their lives.
Exactly.
Even with your parents. Even with my parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you surrender to your truth.
Yeah, it
makes
a difference.
And you make amends to that, to self first, and ask God to keep you covered. You know what I'm saying? And be able to take the beating that can possibly come with it from them. You know what I mean? It's just like you take it one day at a time, and it's going to get better. It may stay the same, or it's going to get worse.
Exactly.
But you have to be prepared for either or.
Yeah.
And still know in your truth you did what you had to do.
Exactly.
You follow?
Exactly.
And sometimes we have to really dig deep at some of the things we've done, some of the things we said, some of the upbringing that we had that we never got taken care of.
Exactly.
We couldn't talk about certain things in in generations that passed.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying? And we carry this shit. And we do motherlyhood and fatherlyhood
and don't
and
even
all
realize
this shit,
that we're
and don't
taking
even
the same thing.
say it again. We
and
roll
doing
with
the
the same
thing.
pattern.
Yep.
You follow what
and
I'm
it's
saying?
like,
And it may not be everything, but it's a lot of some of the shit.
And you don't realize
and we have our own.
And you don't realize it until you've gotten through it. And like I hear myself telling my children, well, this is how I was raised.
We blame it on that though.
And
but it is part of it.
And
it is part of it until you do the inventory.
Yes.
Until you take the inventory.
My thing with my children was because I knew I had some nutty things happening to me, and I knew I wasn't right in my head, but I didn't know how to get the help while raising my children. Because my whole thing was they have to have it better. They have to have it better. So yeah, my kids tell me I wasn't a bad mother, but I was crazy, and a lot of that came from me trying to deal with my own personal crazy, whatever's going on, my traumas, and everything else that's constantly, because I was constantly triggered. So, I mean, I lived on triggered. And trying to make sure that I did things, like when I would notice something that I'm doing,
I don't think they can see you too well. Go ahead.
When I notice things, I go, oh, I need to change that real fast. And then I would change the whole way I'm raising them kids. And, I mean, for them, like, looking back on it, it probably was the craziest, wildest moments ever. And like, what is this moment doing now? But my whole thing was always, I need them to have better opportunities, because in my mind, them having better opportunities meant they would not end up like me. My whole thing was always, my children will not end up the way I ended up. Like, I went to college, I was in my 30s. My late 20s, early 30s, when I first went to college. What you say? Danny and Danielle. This is me, Cole. Danny and Danielle are two different people. We were raised by Danny, but Danielle is sitting in front of you. Shut up.
Well, that's the same. Hey, hold on. Don't leave me out of that shit. That's the same saying as, did you see Tracy today? Back in the day, it was Trey.
Yep,
You follow what I'm
Trey.
saying? My sickness is Trey. You follow? You know what I mean? It's so amazing to me. I'm learning so much from you, Danielle. I didn't know a lot of these things was even going on with you, because you can't judge a picture by the cover.
No.
You know what I mean? Because you just never know what's really going on in somebody or with somebody, even what you think you already know about the somebody.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of this stuff you're saying is like, well, damn.
Because a lot of people, I was treated, and I'm trying not to say who did what, because I did not let people know I was coming on here to do this.
You don't have to.
So I don't want them to be upset, but whoever you are, you know who you are.
You share, let me say this. On this live, and I'll give anybody a suggestion, you share what your heart feels. You understand what I'm saying? You share what you need to share for you. You know,
Right.
hear me out.
Right.
And I understand what you're saying, and I respect it to the utmost. But I'm just saying, you know, when you come on this live, this is how real and raw it is. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's not to hold yourself down or to hold yourself back, but to respect. I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that could be
Right.
another lie. You follow? That's all I'm saying. That could be another lie. You know, but I can't tell you what to say and what not to say because I don't question anybody when they come on here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you come on here, you're coming on here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what you have that can help somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's going to be somebody that's going to come on this live that's going to pick up where you left off.
I hope so.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I hope so because every time
It's gonna
somebody
happen.
come on this live, I learn something. And
Hey!
I lived my life since I read it somewhere when I was 25 that you waste a day if you haven't learned something new.
That's right.
That's a day wasted.
That's
and
right. I
Allah
agree.
does not give us days to waste.
That's right.
So I live by, I have to learn something new every day. Even if it's from my spoiled, rotten grandchildren. Yes, they are spoiled.
That's another part of your life, ain't it?
And yes,
He
they
blessed
are
you with it.
spoiled by
He
me.
blessed you with it.
But even if I
God
learn
never
something
blessed
from
you with it.
even if I learn something from them, which in therapy, believe it or I can't say believe it or not, but in therapy, a lot of my work with recognizing emotions, my therapist directs me to watch my grandchildren.
Renee said the truth is going to set you free.
Renee, and I'm getting freer and freer. But she directs me to watch my grandchildren because children have the most raw, most authentic emotions.
True. Who you telling?
And my two granddaughters, they're a year apart. They're right now they're 6 and 6, but they'll be 6 and 7. And they would be around me all the time. Well, now they're too cool to be around me, but you know they would be around me all the time. And they would, within 5 minutes of being around each other, they are arguing, they are crying, they are loving, they are hugging. And I would tell her about this, like it's so cute. She's like, but what you're witnessing is real, authentic emotions. She said children
is authentic on this
She
live,
told
y'all.
me
Everything is
children.
real.
She said children do emotions. Children experience emotions authentically.
Absolutely, they are.
Before they're jaded by the adult world.
Mm-hmm.
Children they're doing exactly what they're going through their emotions exactly the way you're supposed to be going through emotions.
As
like
well.
no
What you
people
saying?
period. Like those girls would go from can't wait to see each other. Like they're my perfect example. Can't wait to see each other. Parents drop them off, or somebody's there. The other parent drop them off, and within 5 minutes they're arguing. They're going at it. They going at it. And I'm like, y'all couldn't wait to see each other, and I'll be like, stop that. Y'all better make up and make it right. And that's what I tell them, make it right. And then they know, okay, I did something wrong. They tell them I'm sorry, and I give them a hug.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me to stop doing it. She said because they are living authentic emotions. And this is what human beings are supposed to go through with emotions. You may be upset, and then 5 seconds later, you're over it. You love that person. Now, you know what? I just want to hug and kiss on you right now.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, you may want to sit there and go, you know what? Sit next to me, but don't talk to me. But let's just sit next to each other. And I'm like, that's so funny because as you get older, you're taught to suppress a lot of that. Because as you raise your children, it's like, some boys don't cry. Men don't cry. Don't worry about getting hurt. Men don't get hurt.
Oh, wow. This was awesome. Sophia, this is the girl, you just touched me on this one. She said, when we accept the truth about ourselves, we then can feel the freedom of our true self.
And I'm getting to know myself.
That is so awesome. That is so real. That is so
That is
right.
actually
because
100%.
sometimes, look, I'm
That's
glad
true.
you said that because sometimes we can think that we being totally honest and, being real, truthful, you know what I mean? But we know inside ourselves, we kind of eliminating some of it. You know what I mean? We can make amends, but you know what I mean? We'll make the amends, but then we'll find a way to say, well, it wasn't, or I wasn't, or she was, or she
like
did.
you said earlier, I'm
but-
not going to say everything because I don't want to hurt you.
Exactly.
But I'm
Then
still
you'll
going to
just keep
say,
it back, or you
I'm
suppress
still going to
it.
say, but I'm being honest.
But some would
but
just
you're
say
not.
it just to still hurt you.
Oh, definitely.
You got that, y'all?
Definitely.
Some would say it just to still hurt you and be a apologetic and sound so good like they apologize, but then that switch come the hell on, and then they turn into that villain.
But if some of them, when they apologize, when you think about the apology later, you go, wait.
And then you say, that wasn't a
That was an apology. You just found a way to hurt me some more, baby.
You think that was going to come to you that way, and you just listen to it and be like, all right, well, okay, it's then you lay back and say, damn.
Yeah, like, I just thanked you for hurting me even more.
And I just didn't want to hear the shit
Like,
anymore.
wait a minute, how did that happen?
Damn. And then sometimes you like where I'm at today, I can't worry about what's going on with the next.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When I can see what I see and I know what I see, I got to live and let live. You know what I mean? And let God. But I got to make sure that I'm okay and how I'm receiving it and how I'm taking it. You know, and what is it going to do for me? Is it going to be weight for me or is it going to make me angry? It's going to knock me off my square? Not today.
Yeah,
not today because I'm going to turn it over.
And for
I learned how to turn it over and use my higher power before anything today. You know what I mean? And if anybody can hold shit in and have shit in them for so long and still want to throw it out, you know what I mean? Let them do that shit.
Exactly.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Let them do that shit.
If that's how you feel, all feelings are
it's
valid.
It's all about how I feel today.
I don't have
exactly.
to accept
it's all
the way
about how
you're treating me.
Exactly. I gotta do it.
And that's something that I had to learn.
Absolutely.
And that came with learning emotions.
It came with emotions. I had to learn that myself.
And I'm still, to this day, I'm still learning emotions. And when I have the emotion wheel that they give little kids, I have that sitting on my desk so I can look at it every so often. And when I first started therapy, my therapist...
You take a lifetime to share. I feel you.
Wait, when I first started therapy, my therapist would give me the flashcards that they use for kids to teach emotion, you know, with the face on it, like happy, and it would say happy, and then like sad, and then it would say sad. And when she first did it, I laughed so hard.
Right, Sophie, that's called point the finger, blaming
the blame game.
The blame game, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was so funny, but I'm learning that if somebody says something to me and it makes me angry, it is 100% okay for me to let you know you have just made me angry. Now, I can't act on that anger because then that becomes the crime, but I can tell you what you just said pissed me off.
So, Mary, Mary is saying, I be so quiet now because my tongue's sharp.
That's the filter, Mary.
Go ahead.
That's that filter. Because like our Tracy was saying earlier, and like I was saying about the kids with their authentic emotions, we have been trained, especially as women, we have been trained since we were little that we don't say anything that's going to hurt somebody or make somebody uncomfortable, or we're if it's not what's that saying they say? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Like we've been trained to do that by society.
Absolutely.
But then at the same time, society
wicked place.
And at the same time, society tell you, don't hold your emotions in. Don't hold back what you want to say, but don't say that. So it may be a sharp tongue, but it may be what somebody needs to hear from you about what you're feeling. Because that filter, my middle daughter has it. Well, no, she don't have it anymore. I used to have it. Then I got rid of it. And it also, what I've learned for me was when I stopped being quiet, and this is while I was in my anger, because this all came out during anger and like being in my wheelhouse. But I noticed it cleared my field of people, because when I stopped holding in what I really want to say to you, I noticed.
Do it help you?
It helped me.
Do it help you?
It helped me because you know what I don't do? Like, if I tell you just did something to piss me off, and you know that the natural question is how or why, and then you tell them, guess what I'm not doing later on? I'm not replaying that conversation and going with what I should. Y'all know women, we do this all the time, what I should have said. How I should have said this. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I mean, guys, I don't know if y'all do it because I don't have a lot of guys telling me whether they do that or not. But I know women, this is something that we've been trained to do. And this is something that we do. But the clearing my field of people started getting me around people who were more authentic to me, the real me. Like, and like this is, it's like, that's Danny. That's just Danny.
That's just Danny. That's what they say.
That's just Danny.
There you are.
But when I'm having a positive emotion, even though I probably couldn't tell you what it was, those people were not the people that cleared the field, but the ones that were meant to be around me were still around me. And a lot of times it was just my children. A lot of times it was only my children. Sometimes it would be my girlfriends. I have 2 girlfriends that I'm really close with, like sisters.
But I noticed that you more like kind of seclude yourself from everybody.
Oh, I stay away from everybody.
Yeah, you kind of stay like in your own world, your own way.
Now, when I was going before
With
therapy,
I
therapy, it was because I didn't want to like go off. I didn't because I never knew what would set me off.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I'm staying away from people because I know certain people in my family are going to feel like they can say whatever they want to me because of something they might have heard.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep that respect for that person and not totally cuss them out using cuss words they didn't even know existed, I'm just going to stay away. I'm not even going to be around you. Now, I tell people all the time, COVID for me wasn't hard to adjust to because I like being by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like my own company. Mm-hmm. I like being by myself, and I like being in my house just chilling. Like, I find that I have a best friend that I talk to every day, and even my grandkids tell me that's my only friend. They tell me that's my only friend. But we met at work, and we've been friends for over 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And it's a him, and for the people who have that limited kind of thinking, no, he has never tried to have sex with me. No, he has never told me he liked me, because no, he has never liked me. It's always been our friendship.
You've been through
it. He's more my brother now. Like, my mother even calls him her son.
Mm-hmm.
But he's more my brother than anything. But I talk to him every day. And as we got to know each other over the years, I found we have so much in common as far as trauma. His trauma was different from mine. Because a lot of his trauma...
share some of the same things.
Yeah, a lot of his trauma came from being in Iraq. He did two tours in Iraq. And, you know, the stuff that he saw there. Of course, some of the stuff he went through when he was younger. But we can talk to each other in a way that doesn't feel like I'm confessing feelings or emotions or trauma. Like, we're just having a conversation back and forth. And he may tell me things, I'll tell him stuff. And then the next thing you know, we talk about the fact that I do believe in aliens. And yes, I do believe in ghosts. But it kind of just blends in with everything.
With everything, y'all communicate well.
We do.
Y'all feel each other.
We do,
well.
and he's my best friend. And like I said, my grandchildren tell me he's my only friend. Don't listen to my grandchildren.
I stay in the house a lot now too. I stay in the house a lot now, and I feel good to be home. I do. I feel good to be in my house. I'm glad that I'm not around a bunch of nonsense anymore. Yeah. I'm glad I don't allow people to come in my world and rock it.
And get into your space.
And get into my space.
Exactly.
I just don't, because a lot of people can look at you and really don't know what's really going on with you. You know what I mean? A lot of people won't try to understand who you are when you try to explain to them who you are, what you're doing, your change in your life today. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay today. It's okay for me today, because see, the more I'm here, the more I'm safe. I got God in my life today. You follow what I'm saying? Exactly. I got friends in my life today. I have sisters. I have brothers. You know, I have a family. You know what I mean? And I love them all. You follow what I'm saying? And I thank God today that I have learned what love really feels like, even if some throw pain. You follow what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real on here, so some of y'all can just get a little real with the shit, you know, on here, and really express yourself. You know what I mean? And dig down deep and take that real inventory on yourself to say, you know what? I work hard to get where I'm at.
Yeah.
Even though I look like I was there when I wasn't there. You follow what I'm saying? But I work hard on myself every day. And that's what every human being, every soul needs to do. You know what I mean? Because it's not a soul who ain't got something going on. It's not a soul who can see everything that's going on about themselves. Especially if you feel like there's no need for inventory.
Yeah.
Making sense what I'm saying?
And a lot of people feel
Making
like
sense
that.
what I'm saying? Send me some hearts. I'm telling you.
And
You know,
they
keep
already
this
are.
shit on the real. It always is.
And a lot of
keep
people,
this
a
on
lot
the
of people
real.
feel that way about
Keep it on the
themselves.
real, because I'm telling you, when you take inventory and you start working on you and you start fixing yourself, even by having a psychologist, like I said, I've been dealing with one for quite some time. You know what I mean? And it works for me. It helps me. You know what I mean? It's helping me identify shit in myself that I didn't even know that was there. I thought I had it all through my AA, my 12 steps. You know, but it's a whole lot more I'm finding out. It's a whole lot more I'm finding out. And today I'm willing to fix it. You follow? Today I'm really willing to release all that baggage. I'm willing to release, to live, let go, and let God. I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm there. And I'm in a good place.
I would be in a place where I would expect good things to happen to me. I never thought I'd be in a place.
I never felt like that. You know what I mean? You know what I did? When I was a little girl, I never thought that I could have anything really or get things. So for me, you know what I mean? Things that I got, you know, even as hard as my mother worked, as hard as my mother loved her children and took care of her children, sometimes love is just not enough because you want things. You know what I mean? You want to live like you see your friends living. You know, as a child, we go through trauma, y'all, and parents and stuff don't even see it sometimes. We want to be with you. We want you to tell us you love us. I didn't tell my kids I love them. Only time I told my kids I love them is when they was little babies. Oh, I love you, boo-boo. I love you. Once they got running around, running little monsters and all that shit, man, they was on their own with that shit. I loved them, and I loved them unconditionally, but I wasn't told that I was loved by my mom or my dad. And I knew my mom loved me unconditionally. But you need to hear it sometimes so they can learn love. So they can recognize love. A lot of us didn't get that. And if you're one of them, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And that shit carried on to my kids. You know what I'm saying? My kids told me that at grown adults. You know what I mean? Even when I got clean, they knew I was making change in my life. They knew I did different things, but I still never said, hey, babe, love you. You know what I mean? Or when they walk up to me, give them a hug. You know what I mean?
And that's one of the things
that's another thing I didn't get.
Like, don't come, and like, if I don't know you're coming to hug me, don't hug me.
You don't want to be touched?
No. And if I, like, what they used to do.
Well, I wanted to be hugged, damn it.
What they used to do.
All I wanted was a Malibu party. I ain't want no paper damn Barbie dolls that the legs don't move.
See,
and everybody else's Barbie was running and doing all kinds of shit. But you know what I did? Same thing to my son. My sons, they didn't want no big wheel that didn't have the clutch on it. Shit, they got the big wheel without the clutch because that's all I can give my kids.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing that my mother was doing for me. It's amazing. It's amazing how you grow up and you start accepting things and looking at things. That's an inventory. And you start taking the inventory, you know what I mean? And you realize. You realize.
To this day,
I have it rubbed off on me to mine.
Yep.
You follow?
Yep.
To
and
mine.
You know what Nicole told me? She said one day, she was upset with me, but she said it. And she said, I'm ending this generational curse. I'm ending all this generational trauma. My kids ain't never gonna have to live like this. My kids not gonna have to worry about their mother can't tell them that she loved them, and they're not gonna be able to worry about their mother not being able to hug them. Because I'm not a hugger. I didn't hug my kids a lot. I didn't tell my kids that I love them to this day. If they're asking for a hug, it's hard. It's still hard for me.
It's not hard for me anymore. I do it today because I know how they felt. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how I felt.
But here's the thing with my grandchildren, because my daughter said that to me one day, like, I want to do it with my children. I do. It's not that I don't love my children. It's not that I don't care about them. I would love to be able to hug them. I have done it before. Some of them don't let me go.
Just do it.
I have done it before. Like, I can do it. I can do it.
Just do it.
It's just, it's not like, I'm pretty sure the way they would want it to be. But,
they'll take
with
that.
my grandchildren,
they'll take that.
I know.
They'll take
with
that.
my grandchildren,
Mine took that. I told Keisha and I told them, they was like, I said, every time they on the phone with their dad, they always talking about, okay, love you, Dad. I said, well, how come y'all don't tell me y'all love me? You know what they said? This was the answer. Because, Mom, you don't tell us you love us. We're not used to that with you. We're used to that with my dad.
Yeah.
From that day on. I love you, daughter. You know what I mean? I love you, daughter. And now is where we call each other, tell each other every day, we love each other.
And I would love to be able to get to that point.
I feel good, though. I feel good that I can make them feel good. For me telling telling them that I love them instead of just, them assuming that I love them. That's a big thing. That's a big thing to tell your children and your grandbabies and all of that you love them. Because a lot of our parents didn't say that. Man, generations was just different. And we bring that shit in our own.
We weren't taught to tell your children that you love them. We weren't taught to tell your children
that
you're sorry. We weren't taught to tell. We weren't even taught to tell the kids why something was hard because they were kids. And you had to parent. You had to show them, like, everything I do proves to you that I love you. But like you said, they need to hear it. And
they need to hear
it. For me, where I'm at now, I don't need to hear it. Like, for me, I don't need my parents to tell me they love me. I don't need my parents to hug me. Because, I don't want to be hugged anyway. Like, I'll hug people when I see you. Sometimes I'll hug my kids when I'm like, ooh, I don't hug my kids, and I'll think about it, and I'll just go hug one of them. And for them, it's the weirdest thing because we're not huggers in my house. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I say I love you, and it's always followed with, you must want something, and it's because it's not something that.
Ooh, well, she got to do them like that too. I love you, boo.
It's not something I've gotten used to yet. Like, I'm still getting there. Like, I haven't gotten to the point where I can freely tell somebody I love them. I can freely just hug somebody. Like, for me, I'm still working on things. Like, it's still a lot that I'm working on, and I'm getting there. With my grandchildren, I'm making a conscious effort to always hug them and always tell them that I love them because I don't want them to have to go through what my kids went through. Yeah. As far as, I know you love me, like I can see you love me, you take care of me, you do this, you're there, like anything I need, here you go. But like you said, hearing it.
This young lady, Christina, what's that? McIntyre. Hi, Christina. Christina said, I've definitely been on a healing journey. Wait a minute, I hit the daggone thing. I'm not good at this. Did I miss it?
Somebody said that's the best practice to do as parents.
I've definitely been on a healing journey, and when I tell you the peace I feel now going back to church, getting therapy, finding out why I allowed myself to feel worthless, spending my time, and myself taught me to love myself. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, girl. And now my light shines so brightly. You go ahead, my sister. I know that's right. My light shines so brightly, and so many doors.
So many doors have opened for me, and I know things happen. It's not just happening now. And forgiveness really allow me to be set free.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm feeling what you feeling.
Yeah.
Believe that. I'm feeling some of that good stuff. I'm feeling what you feeling. You know what I mean? It's just a feeling that you get that is so freaking powerful.
It really
is. It is such a beautiful feeling. In spite of when, where, what, why, whatever you've done. You know what I mean? I had to forgive everybody that I felt had a part to do with me and my feelings. You follow what I'm saying? I had to live and let God and forgive them for me.
I didn't know until I was 50 that I never forgave people. I would tell people I forgave them.
It's a beautiful feeling. But to have the wisdom to know the difference, my sister. A beautiful feeling to have the wisdom to know the difference. This is why I love that serenity prayer so much.
Yeah, me too.
So much.
My therapist, I was 50 when I finally forgave somebody. And I really actually forgave them. Because I thought I was forgiving people. But I really wasn't, because I was still holding on to the feelings and the emotions that were... that caused me not to feel for them the way that I felt. And I was 50 when I had a conversation with I told you about this, had a conversation with my therapist about somebody that wronged me, and we talked about their childhood. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you never talked about that before. You never said that. And she was like, do you see the trauma that person has gone through? Oh, we good. She was like,
she never told me, Tom,
that the person has gone through and how that could have played a part in what they did to you. And right then and there, I made a decision, and it was like a weight lifted. I was like, you know what? I forgive that person. Mm-hmm. And she was like, wait, I'm not telling you to. I'm like, no. I said, what you said just made so much sense. It doesn't excuse everything.
Right.
But I understand it now.
Mary, what you saying is my kids tell you the same thing. I know you in the same air. You know what I'm saying? This is just a part of how, you know, our lives have been. And you know what? I forgive me for everything that I did to any and everybody. You know what I mean? I had to forgive me first. You know what I mean? And I forgive them by making my amends. You know what I'm saying? And I don't let it hold me back from this good vibe, this good feeling, this good, you know, a life that I'm living today. You know what I mean? I put God first. You know what I'm saying? And I deal with each day as we all have to, one day at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people don't know how to live one day at a time. You know what I mean? Even when they think they live in one day at a time, but you're still holding damn yesterday. You follow what I'm saying?
And worrying
if
about tomorrow.
if it don't do you pleasure, it don't do you good, you live and let God with it. That's what I learned how to do. And I had to learn how to do all these things under the care of getting clean, getting better. You know what I mean? Because if some of you that's on here, yeah, I'm a junkie that's in recovery. You know what I mean? Something that I will never forget about me, because it's dangerous for me to forget that. You know what I mean? Some people don't understand when I say that. I understand it though. You know what I mean? And it's all right. You know, I understand it. I know what I got to do for me. You know what I mean? This is still coming to y'all. All the things we talk about as keeping it on the eye. I'm telling you, keep it on the eye. I'm serious. If you keep your attention on to what you do, you know what I mean? Not to say that you've been all good all your life, because I damn sure have it. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? But I try to be good as I can every day. And it don't change overnight. She said she was 50 when she got to wanting to hug somebody. Well, I'll be 65. You know what I mean? And I'm loving hugging. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving my change. You know what I mean? I'm loving being on this live, you know, talking real shit with everybody real and raw. You know what I mean? Because I know that it helps me. And I know that it's helping somebody else. And I'm going to continue, as I say every week to y'all, to continue to do it. And I'm going to bring as much information and education about anything that can help us get better as I possibly can. You know what I mean?
Renee said she said, wow, this is better than color TV.
Go ahead, Renee. You know what
I know that saying.
Hey, y'all, look, we're doing this thing. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody who's here. I appreciate everybody who's coming on. I appreciate all the comments. They are
guys
wowed out. You know what I mean? Y'all did me as good service, and I hope this live brought you good service. You know what I mean? I see the hearts. Y'all know I love them hearts. I'm always flashing them. I'm always wearing them. You know what I mean? Because everything that I say I do, or I try to do to help myself on top of helping you, comes from the heart. You know what I mean? Learn to live within yourself, but you want to be happy within yourself. You know what I mean? But before you do and get happy, you got to cleanse yourself of all the rotten shit that makes you rotten. You know what I'm saying? Even when you feel like you ain't rotten, it don't take overnight to do it. It takes one day at a time.
Because it didn't take overnight for you to get there.
It didn't take one day at a time for us to get where we got.
It took
day
by day for you to get where you were.
You know what I mean?
So it's going to take day by day to get that.
That's right.
Or to get better.
That's right. And when you put God first, I have to say that, when you put your God first, because, you know, again, I call my God higher power. You know what I mean? I know that it works for me. You know what I mean? Yours is a law. You know, you have I believe in Jesus as well. I believe in the law.
But for me, Jesus, he was a prophet for us.
But for me, I mean, not even to get into that. I'm just saying, you know, people have their own religion. Some people are atheists. Some people don't believe in it. Hell, I lost all total religion belief before I got well. You know what I mean? I ain't think God exists, but I darn sure and damn sure know he exists today, y'all. That's for sure. You hear what I'm saying? Because he got us doing this. You know what I mean? He got us sister to sister, brother to sister, aunt to uncle, mother to father, sitting on here getting it in, you know, in a real comfortable, real positive conversation. You know what I mean? With no malice, no nothing. And if you got it, keep it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You ain't got room for it on here. You follow? So let's keep on doing what we doing, y'all. And again, let me run these things down to you. I have my...
Nicole said, favors by me on a shirt and cup.
She always do that. This is one of her shirts, Nicole's shirts, you know what I mean, that she makes for Living in My Truth. We also have the glasses, y'all, and we have the mug cups, and they are actually coming soon. They're coming, we get ready to start putting it out. I got a website that's coming up for all of this. Everything is getting on the right track, so I have people that keep asking me, well, when you going, you got them, how much they cost, I want this, I want that. Everything is going to be set up for you to go on a website and order and get them. And I would love the support. You know why? Because I'm trying to take this bigger and into better places. You know,
That's right.
so that we can do bigger and better things. You follow? Because y'all helping me with my growth in what I'm doing and living in my
And you
truth.
helping us with our growth.
Exactly. But my truth is my truth and yours is yours.
Exactly.
You know, and I titled this that because that's actually what I'm doing. It's actually what I'm trying to do. It's what I'm doing. It's what I'm working on every day. So if you can live in your truth, work on it every day. Work on it every day. There's nothing wrong with surrendering to what we did or what we said or how we used to do it and who we did it to. You know what I mean? Find that higher power greater than yourself that will help restore your sanity, because it's insanity to a lot of things that we do. A lot of us don't think we have no insanity in us. You know what I mean? But we all do. You follow? It's somewhere, even if it's stuck down, suppressed somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just always love you. Learn to love yourself. You follow what I'm saying? And learn how to stand.
Love your flaws.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people
that's what's going to get you your
go
car.
to therapy or rehab or, you know, wherever they're going to get help, and it doesn't take the first time, or they feel like they failed. That's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We are human. We are flawed beings.
That's right.
Love your flaws.
That's
because
right.
every time you find a flaw and you love it about yourself, you find something you want to make better, or you find somewhere you want to be better. And if it takes you 3 or 4, I know they say this with rehab, it may take you 2, 3, 4 times before it sticks or it takes. But at least you did it, and you kept
before you get it right.
Before you get it right, I'm sorry.
Before you live a recovery lifestyle.
Right, and it's okay because you got here. Mm-hmm. So
it's
the same thing with mental health, just like it is with our physical health.
It relates so much.
It relates okay so
much.
If it doesn't take the first time.
It relates so much.
Like I said, I have been in therapy off and on for years, and I got intentional with my therapy in 2017. I purposely searched out a black woman therapist of a certain age, which was close to my age, because I needed somebody who would be able to understand me, understand my idioms, understand the different things that we say. So it's okay if you fail, just don't give up. And I know that's a cliche,
absolutely,
but I have to tell you, being in therapy,
that's good advice.
And I know in recovery, if you fail, don't give up, because you will get there.
Failing is part of it.
That's
you know what I mean? Failing is a part of it. Believe me, failing is a part of it, but you got to know that and not give in. You know what I mean? To your thinking. So that's what's most important. Knowing that recovery is fine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In your recovery in mental health, this is just me, and this is how I feel. It's fine. It's great, but you got to recognize the thinking. You got to know when the voices is talking. You know what I mean? Because all of us in the subconscious mind, that's what's connected to the emotions and can disconnect the emotions.
I'm making
friends
with my voices. So.
Absolutely. Well, I'm aware of Trey, because Trey crazy as hell. You know
I'm making friends with mine.
I ain't friends with her ass. I'm an enemy to her ass.
Sometimes
you know what I mean?
Because
she's my enemy. You know what I mean? But I understand that. You know what I mean? Because we're dealing with two different things. Somewhat of two different things.
Right.
Because but they're pretty much alike.
Right, because even addiction has something, it has something to do with your mental health.
A lot of people get mental health from addiction. Trust that.
Right.
Get depressed from addiction. Yes, that's why I have all this on here, so we can recognize as we discuss, and we can compare, and we can, you saying what you saying, I'm saying what I'm saying, they hearing some of what we both saying, and they're telling us what they're feeling and what they're saying, and guess what? I call that therapy.
That's therapy.
I call it straight up therapy.
That's therapy.
That's what I call it for me. But y'all, look, there's nothing wrong with getting a psychologist. I say that every segment just about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to do what you need to do for you. And be proud of who you are. Change is not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in a day. In an instance. It takes time, and no pain, no gain. That's just simply how that works. And back to what I was saying, I appreciate everybody coming on. Again, we are going to do the shirts that's coming up, and if anybody can come up and see the reveal of Tracy Allen, Living in My Truth, on the billboard, is located where you can get the shot and feel, and be right there. It's on Live's parking lot grounds. That's where the actual billboard is, where it's going to be presented. You know what I mean? It's only going to be on for 24 hours. You know what I mean? And it's on the electronic one that, they show different ones, and then you come on different ones, then you come on. Like 2 or 3, then you come on. 2 or 3, then you come on. But for me, hey, that's a whole hell of a lot. You follow
It
what I'm
is.
saying? It allows me to know that this thing is going somewhere. We growing, y'all, and it's getting more of the message, or to acknowledge that this is available for you to many, many, many people. You know, so I appreciate everybody who wants the shirts, the mugs, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? This thing is going to start, you know, lifting even higher, y'all, because God is blessing us. He's definitely blessing
Yes,
us.
He is.
You know what I mean? And He keep us coming on Wednesdays. And when I say coming on, y'all, look, y'all be there. Y'all be there as soon as this thing pop on. You know what I mean? And that's nothing but love, much love. Let me send you some hearts, just like y'all know I love the hearts. I'm sending them out there. You follow? So I know we've been on here for quite some time. You know, I was told, hey, hell, you know, time don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? When you're having a good time, you know, and you're hearing some good things, you know, and learning some good things, you know. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank Danielle for
Thank
coming
you guys.
on.
Thanks for
Danielle
listening to
shared
me.
a lot of information, y'all. I told you that she was. I didn't know what she was going to say. She just, you know, we don't rehearse or nothing. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you,
We
Aunt
just
Tracy,
come
for
on real
having
and
me
raw.
on.
That's what we do, and that's what makes it such a great show. You know what I mean? Here I go with the show shit again. But y'all know how I do. You know what I mean? I just make my own shit up. For as long as it's working. Thank you, thank you. Let me see them hearts, y'all. I'm going to go off in a few minutes. I'm going to shout out a couple names. I got to give you all that love and that time. Thanks, Michelle, Mary, Hud, Francis, Frank, Milk, my sister Saj, you know what I mean? Sharita, Renee, Sophia, Rabia, what's up, Rabia? I didn't see you at first, but I see you now. And Gilda, I gave you a shout out. I appreciate that love that you sent me. You know what I mean? It touched me, and you was one of the ones that I captured early, and I sent you a shout out on that. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for those words of inspiration. Who else? Denise,
Mo.
Denise,
Yeah.
you know you always there. My girl Mo, you always there. You know, everybody that I don't see that's not sharing, you know what I mean? Because I know you're listening. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of you,
And
even
Carla.
just to listen. Hey, Carla, thank you too. You know what I mean? Tiny, I'm trying to get more names. I'm scrolling down, so I hope I can catch enough. You know what I mean? I know I can't catch everybody, you know, but I know my heart is to everybody and my love is to everybody. Thank you so very much. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm
Keisha.
coming up. Hey, Keisha, see, you seeing names that I can't see.
I'm looking at the...
Tony, thank you. Hey, Keisha, cousin, thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you. Always, Keisha, I gotta get you on here too, girl. I know you know, my cousins are so inspirational. You know what I mean? Treese, Michelle, and Keisha. You know what I mean? I mean, they could talk on this religion thing and things in life. You know what I mean? And I'm going to try to get them on here. I really want a trio, to be honest. Get them all on here at the same time. I want to, like, bump it up. You know what I mean? And get this thing going. I hope you hear me, cousin. I'm sending these hearts out to you, girl. You follow me? Yeah, because we all got something to say. Again, if you have any topics, please, y'all know, to inbox me. Let me know. You know what I mean? If you need to say anything and ask on this live, do so. You follow? This is what it's for. It's like grown people just talking. We all chatting. You know what I mean? Getting some love, strength, and hope from each other. You know, so I'm going to pop off this. I hope I shouted out a lot of names that was on here today. And if I didn't get your name, believe me, you are loved, and thank you so very much. Okay? You want to say anything, Danielle?
Thank y'all for listening. That's all I can say. I know I ramble sometimes, so thank y'all.
All right, y'all. We're going to
Thanks,
start.
Aunt Tracy.
Here I go again, y'all. We're going to pop off. I get it one day.